Hello, and welcome to the Carpenter Shop. I'm Ricky Fitzpatrick, one of your hosts, and I'm here actually this week with my youngest son and co-host, Jude. Life is all about building. Some of us build with wood, some with metal or stone. We build gardens, we build families, we build traditions and memories and habits that are the core of how we live. God is building in every area of our lives, and we love to look at why that matters to us and how we can understand Him better. So join us for all that and more right here on the Carpenter Shop. All right, so we are back here, episode 2, right, Jude?
2.
Yeah, here for episode 2 with Jude. So, in case you're wondering where Creisha's just out this week, so Jude is filling in for her, and I'm excited. I think it's going to be really cool having Jude here. Jude's my wingman, right?
Yes, I help him fly.
Yeah, we do everything together, don't we? All right, so, hey, with that, let's get right into what I wanted to talk about, kind of what I have on our agenda today. The first thing I had down here was, and we were talking about this at lunch today, actually. I don't know if you were paying attention or not. You might have been like engrossed in Fortnite. Something like that.
It was actually Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Okay, excuse me.
Get it right.
Pardon me. Pardon me. Anyway, what we were talking about was who, as far as fast food restaurants go, who has the best fries? And it's I don't know. We were talking about who has the best this, who has the best that. We actually, I want to come back and revisit this because I want to do like a formal study of who has the best sweet tea. That's what I really want to get into. What?
We should do half and half because any place can do sweet tea, I think. We should do half and half.
I don't know. I mean, we like half. When we go, we get half and half, usually, if we get tea, right? And why do we do that?
It's too sweet.
Because it's too sweet. That's right. It's too sweet.
Figure it out.
It usually is too sweet. Now, I will say, when we go to Chick-fil-A, I like their sweet tea. I don't need half and half at Chick-fil-A.
Mm.
And I'm a Chick-fil-A fan, but nevertheless.
Chicken-lay.
But we were talking about who has the best fries. And I think this is a valid discussion.
Mickey D's.
You think so?
I think so.
Because
they know how to salt it. They know what salt is.
If you get them salted. I mean, sometimes you get some knucklehead that, they just, by default, they don't put salt on it. I don't know why they do that. I don't know why they do that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But, so, I mean, I'm going through things so everybody has their own take on fries.
Right.
Burger King, theirs are a little more rustic cut, I would say. They're bigger. Wendy's is a lot like that.
Chick-fil-A is just, their fries are just...
Those waffle fries are weird.
No.
I know. And I like Chick-fil-A, but I'm not a fan of the waffle fry, personally.
Me neither.
I don't know. Maybe if somebody's listening, I'm sure there are some heated opinions on this. But so if anybody's listening and you got some opinion, throw it at us and let us know. Because I'm inclined to side with Jude on this, as and I complain about our local McDonald's all the time, but
they have some
when they're done right and they're fresh.
They can be really
it's
good.
hard to beat those French fries, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It really, and now we did go to this place. There's this place in Athens called Freddy's. You remember Freddy's? It's that place, and it's got the little bitty fries. It almost looks like the those little French fry. No, I shouldn't say that. I don't know what they're called, but they're like fry straws. And they're in a cup, and they're like potato chips, but they're sticks. They're potato sticks. That's what these things make me think of, because they're tiny. but they're French fries.
So kind of like veggie fries.
Sort of like that, I guess, but I'm just not a fan of the Freddy's fries because to me,
I don't like crunchy fries.
well, even if they're not crunchy, the thing is, though, the Freddy's fries are so small and they're so tiny, there's not much of a vehicle for the ketchup. And if you have like a great big, like a steak cut fry, it's too much because then you got too much potato. To me, that's why the McDonald's French fry is so right. Because you stick it in the ketchup,
so very good.
And it's the perfect vehicle for the ketchup. It's the perfect size.
It's the perfect cloud.
It's a great delivery medium for the ketchup, especially if it has salt on the fry. Yeah, it's just, I agree. I think McDonald's would be the winner. Anyway, I had that on my list because I thought that was an interesting topic. I do want to do a more formal investigation into the tea. So I'm going to figure out how to do this. I'm going to get some tea. We'll shoot a video. We'll do it on YouTube, and we will determine who reigns supreme for fast food sweet tea. We'll do that.
That'll be a tough one, I think.
I think it will be tough, but I already think I know who I'm going to prefer.
Tell me yours, then I'll tell you mine.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to anticipate it's probably going to be Chick-fil-A.
I think, now, y'all, you are probably going to go crazy. After I went to Captain D's, their tea was fabulous.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. I wasn't even thinking about Captain D's.
The half and half tea, that was really good. I mean, it might have been the person or it might have been the training. Because it was pretty good.
Okay. All right, well, let's save that. Well, we're going to get into that. We'll do it over the next 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. So, okay. So, anyway, all right, we'll do it in like episode
53.
Or whatever. The Carpenter Shop podcast is growing. You know, we've got some distribution stuff going on, and you know, we started out our I would say our initial hosting comes through anchor.fm, and they're fantastic. And if you want to host a podcast, they are wonderful. If you've got a podcast you need somebody to host, they're wonderful. They have a distribution network set up, and so actually through them we're also on Spotify and Radio Public as of today. That was great. They've got some stuff sent to Apple and Google podcasts, but it's a little bit of a process with them. So we're anticipating in the next week or two, we'll be live on Apple and Google, and those are the big boys.
Cross your fingers, y'all.
Yeah, and I'm not worried about it. I just, it's just going to take a little bit to do it. So we're also on SoundCloud. We've got links and everything posted on the Apple Valley Farm website, which, in case you don't know, the Carpenter Shop is an offshoot of Apple Valley Farm, which is our woodworking and homesteading business.
Yeah, that's probably our main business.
But the Carpenter Shop is the Apple Valley Farm podcast.
Because we like telling y'all stuff. We like talking to y'all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I enjoy it. And so we're posting videos, and it's not a video where you're watching us, but it's just a still image video of each podcast up on our YouTube channel. So if you're interested in that, or if that's your jam, then you can go over to YouTube and pull us up at Apple Valley Farm, and we'll have everything posted there too. So anyway, excited about all that going on with the Carpenter Shop and Apple Valley Farm. And and actually right now though, we are I'm recording this at the very end of August. So that means when September the 1st hits, that's when our holiday season, boom, it kicks in, Jack.
It's like you were 60 miles an hour, and then you're 85,165,000 miles per hour. And it's
and it's that way through the end of the year, man. It gets crazy. And it's been great. It's been great because during all of the COVID-19 stuff, we have remained busy. And so, in some cases, even busier than we were at this time last year. So we're a little in the weeds as it is. So what I try to do during the summer, because it's usually a little slow, I'll try to get caught up so when September hits, we're not behind the 8 ball. We can really hit the ground running. Right now, we are behind already. So we're really going to have to find another gear and make this thing work. So anyway, Christmas is coming up. It will be here before we know it. And Christmas holiday shopping. And, well, when I say holiday, I don't just mean Christmas, but Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, all of that.
Thanksgiving is another busy one.
Yeah, it'll be busy. Yeah, so we really gotta get on the ball. We really do. But in the meanwhile, I am still excited about chickens. And I was talking like last week about chickens and how I want to get them, and we need to do this, we need to do that. I'm trying to educate myself on them. And
there's a cool idea you came up with the other day. It was like a chicken tractor.
The chicken tractor. Yeah, the chicken tractor is what I really want to do, because I can build a chicken coop. Yeah, that's no problem. But I want something that's going to be movable.
A chicken tractor.
Because I want the poop to
fertilize.
Yeah, and I want it like we'll move the coop from point A to point B, and the next day from point B to point C.
And so on and so on.
Let's keep going, and then that way we evenly distribute the poop without having to actually get into the poop. So I think the idea of a mobile coop or what they call a chicken tractor, I think is a great idea. Tons of plans for it. And
speaking of mobile, y'all should check out the video of our little greenhouse. It was a pretty cool idea he came up with, and it's a tub. With I believe it's collards and beets in them, and it's pretty good. We checked it this morning. It was super hot in there.
When you say a tub, you're talking about the plastic storage tubs, right?
At Walmart.
Yeah, like you get at Walmart and stuff. Yeah, so we made just so in case you haven't seen that yet, so we made a little mini greenhouse. Or I'm calling it the seed sauna. That's what I'm calling it.
I like that.
I like it too. That was bing. That was genius of me. Pow. My favorite part of the whole thing, and the most unexpected part of that whole process of making the seed sauna, was when I'm mixing the water with the potting mix, and I'm showing you how to do that. And you remember when I was showing it to, we were making a YouTube video of it, and so I'm showing it to the camera, and I'm like, I squeeze it, and I'm like, so the water comes out like a sponge, and I open my hand up, and I say, so it keeps its shape, and you said it looks like a dirt turd.
A dirt turd.
a dirt turd. What was that?
I don't know. I was just like, okay, it's dirt, but it looks like a turd.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought the dirt turd was brilliant, and so I was thinking I might even put that on a shirt. I think dirt turd is destined for like a T-shirt for our listeners. I think they would really get into that. I just think it was so weird that you called it that. It was completely unexpected. So.
Well, it wasn't really a turd because it wasn't a turd. It was a dirt turd.
So the seed sauna, we started some little seeds in the little seed trays, and basically just turn this storage bin upside down, and we put them in there. It's a clear bin, so it acts like a little greenhouse. And yeah, when we opened it up today, it was warm. And
it smelled so good.
I know. I think it's going to be perfect. So anyway, I'm excited about that. We're doing a lot of things. Like, I think early last week, I put up our compost bin.
Check that.
Yeah, we haven't had a compost bin in a while. So I did the compost bin. I did not get approval for it. Cretia didn't give me approval. I just did it. But
Don't tell her.
Nah, she knows. So I think it's okay. But
it looks, believe it or not, it looks like a professional one.
Like a professional
compost bin.
Pallet compost bin. That's right.
You need to put some worms in there. You do need to do that because I've heard they do help.
I do need to expand it. And that's one thing that if the rain will ever let us. What is the deal with the rain?
Deal, man.
So if the rain will give us a chance, we need to expand it because we've just got one compartment. I want to expand it to 3 compartments, but we don't really need it right now because the second compartment will be once the first one decomposes a good bit, then we'll move it to the second one, and then we can start new material in the first one and so on. So we'll have successive compost bins. So anyway, but I do want to get that done if we possibly can. So.
I think this is coronavirus with us staying at home. I think it's let us come up with a lot of good ideas. I think
it has too. I really do. And I mean, and even with the rain, like right now, it's
really helped our garden.
Yeah, it's been good for the garden. The okra is thriving right now.
It's like the car thing. You're like at going 60 miles per hour, and then
it's really wide open. Yeah, and with the rain, in one way, it's been kind of a blessing because it's forced us to do some work inside. So, like the other day, it's kind of so I'll tell you the story in case you don't know. The other night, I decided I wanted some egg drop soup. I don't know why. I just had a hankering for egg drop soup. Well,
that egg drop.
My father-in-law already has chickens, and so he gives us eggs, and these eggs are so good. They're like really rich.
They're
really good.
It's like taking, for example, the okra right off and eating it.
Yeah, it's real. These eggs are just fantastic. Anyway, I decided we have a lot of eggs, and so I said, hey, I'm going to make me some egg drop soup. It was like 10 o'clock at night. So anyway, I was going to make the egg drop soup, but I needed some chicken stock to be able to make that with. And usually we buy that. So, like, we buy it at Kroger in the little boxes of it, you know. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I went back to the cupboard to look for some stuff. As I say the word cupboard, does anybody use the word cupboard? Anyway, that's a rabbit hole I'm not going to go down. Anyway, I go to the cupboard to get a box of chicken stock, and we're out.
Of course.
And it was really frustrating. And, you know, we buy like 10 boxes at a time, so I don't know how we're out. But we're out, and so then I think, you know what? I can make that. And I got to looking at some recipes, and so we just did it. And so the next day I made it in the Instapot, or the Instant Pot. We call it the Instapot. Some people call it the Instapot.
Instant.
Which is basically, it's a jacked up pressure cooker. And then with its own heating element. So it's really cool. Anyway, if you're not familiar with the Instapot, you need to be, because it's
good for ribs.
It's great for ribs. We do all kinds of things in it. Anyway, not to like sell the Instapot, but anyway, we did the chicken stock in it, and normally we'd have to cook it on the stove for like, what they say, like 3 to 4 hours.
Well, not with this pressure
I cooked
cooker.
it for half the time. And I'll tell you, if you're interested in this, there's a couple of things you can do. We got a video on our YouTube channel with all of this. And as a matter of fact, I think I've got a blog post on our website about it too. And we've got a recipe for the chicken stock. But, if you want that recipe, it's part of a special access for our sponsors. So you can get access to that recipe and to our whole library of recipes on our website, but only if you are one of our subscribers through Patreon. So anyway, and I'll talk more about that later, but So we got a recipe for it on there for anyone
I would recommend it because it is so good, so very good.
I think it is. I do think it is. So,
I think we are professional cookers.
I don't know if I am. Your mama is the much better cook than I am. I like experimenting, but I tell you, I have to cook from a recipe.
She's got it in her mind. It's like she can just pull it up in her mind and then...
She's that old school.
Yeah.
You know, she just, a pinch of this, a handful of that. She knows how to do it. If
we were to do that, it tastes like
junk.
Yeah.
I know.
She just has the magic touch.
She does have the magic touch. So the next thing I had on my list was I was thinking about, there's a whole chain of events that led up to this, but we're doing some affiliate marketing, and I'll talk about that in a little more in a second. But the affiliate marketing has got us with several different companies, and a lot of them deal with sporting equipment, and I'm not talking like lacrosse thing. I'm talking about guns and camo and deer stands and things like that. So, and one of them deals with gun safes, a company called Secure It. And anyway, that got me down the path of thinking about our guns and all. And we have a sign, and you'll know what I'm talking about when I say this. We have a sign, it's a no trespassing sign that we make.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the one we shoot?
Oh, that's so awesome.
So in case you don't know, so here on Apple Valley Farm, the main thing we do is we make hand-painted rustic signs. And so we make this no trespassing sign, and it says no trespassing, something like violators will be offered a shot. And then we shoot the sign with buckshot. Or with birdshot.
It is awesome. Rock and roll.
And it looks really cool. We hang the empty shell over on it, and it looks really neat.
It is a really good home decor sign.
Yeah, it's cool. It's great for a man cave and stuff like that. But the reason I even brought it up is because as far as I know, and I have researched this in the ground, trying to find anybody else that does it, I believe we are the only company in the world that sells a buckshot distressed sign.
I think after you shoot it, y'all would have to see it. This might sound crazy. It makes it look 10 times better, I do have to say. It makes it look more rustic.
And it's completely unique. It's really cool, and I like it. So anyway, I just thought that was cool that we can make that claim that we are the only company in the world that makes a, quote, buckshot distressed sign. I thought that was pretty. And
it's also very fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It gives us a chance to get out there and shoot something that we've made. And sometimes, frankly, it blows the whole sign apart.
I like that.
I have to rebuild it. I feel like the $6 Million Man. We can rebuild him. You know. Anyway.
I do have to say, there's this one story. So sometimes, maybe every month or so, we'll take our 9mm guns and we'll do some target practicing every now and then. And we had some old pallet saw blades, and they were about maybe a centimeter thick and a inch wide, maybe.
No, they weren't a centimeter thick, but they were just a saw blade thick. They're for my Sawzall.
A Sawzall, yeah.
It's just a saw blade thick, and they're probably, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of an inch wide. Yeah. So,
knowing me, I took it out there, and this is safe. There was no one around. And I was with Cretia and Daddy, and we went out there.
You were with Cretia? Is Cretia now, not Mama?
No, I was just saying that I was with Mama and Daddy, and I was out there, and he put 3 up.
Cretia.
About 2 inches apart.
Oh, my goodness.
And I was like, I can hit this. But I kept missing every shot. So we all tried, and then finally it came back around to me, and I just started going off. And I hit it. It fell right over, and I hit it. And I was about to say, I'm a great shot.
Krisha's gonna hit you. Krisha again. Oh my gosh, where did that come from? I didn't even listen to what you just said. I was completely distracted.
Sorry. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you that I'm
a
good shot.
He is a good shot. I could not believe he did that. We're probably a good, I don't know, 25, 30 yards away. You know, it was a good shot for that little bitty LC9. So it's a compact gun. You know, doesn't have a lot of barrel on it. So yeah, it was a good shot. That was a strong shot right there.
And he was the one who told me to just
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's semi-automatic, so it's wanted you to just go with it. Yeah, that was pretty good. Well, the next segment I really want to get into is our scripture aha. And I'm still not really sure if we want to call it that or not. But anyway,
what does that mean?
Aha, like an aha moment. You know, like we realized something.
An idea.
Yeah, an idea. So anyway, I'm not sure.
You could call it the scripture light bulb. The
scripture light bulb. That might be good. Okay, we'll have to think on that. What we want to do is bring up a scripture, and then we're just going to discuss it. We're just going to kind of see. Now, Jude doesn't know what the scripture is going to be. I'm going to throw this out there on him, and we're just going to see where we go with this, right? So, I am reading today out of the book of Matthew, chapter 13, starting with verse 31. 31. And this is the parable of the mustard seed, okay?
Mustard.
So I don't know if you're familiar with this or not, Jude.
I think I've heard of it.
All right, so Jesus is speaking. He's preaching is what he's doing here. And he says, and it says here in Matthew, it says, another parable he put forth said, and this is Jesus speaking, the kingdom of heaven is like a grain of a mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field, which indeed is the least of all seeds, but when it is grown, it is the greatest among all the bushes, and it becomes a tree so that the birds of the air come and build their nests in the branches. That's verses 31 and 32, Matthew chapter 13. So, Jude, just tell me, what comes to mind as I read that? What are you thinking?
Well, I think that this is not what I believe, but it is a good example for this. So, y'all know the Big Bang Theory. It was just an itty-bitty tiny little pebble. Mm. And one day, it grew.
You mean the universe?
No, the little tiny hole, and it exploded and became the universe.
I get what you're saying.
And I think what Jesus is trying to say here is heaven is a place for growth. He wants that itty-bitty, remember, mustard seeds are super small. Mm. He wants that mustard seed to be, mustard seed to be an orchard of trees. Mm. He wants to grow.
I got you. Now, I say I'm going to redirect you. I'm not a theologian, or I'm not I'm not a biblical expert. Okay?
I know what biblical expert means, but what's a theologian?
Okay. Well, a theologian, a theology is the study of God. Okay? So if I'm a theologian, it means that I'm a person who concentrates on the study of God. Okay?
So mostly reading the Bible.
Not just reading the Bible, but someone who is intensely, that is their thing. A theologian. That's their thing. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not a theologian.
But you are very smart.
I'll thank you very much. But there are a lot of people who know a lot more than I do. But to me, let me just say, I don't think God is telling us that he wants this mustard seed to grow into all kinds of different plants. But I do believe he's saying, number one, he's talking about I was going to say he's talking about our faith, but actually, no, he's probably not, because he doesn't say our faith, he says the kingdom of heaven. So he said, when he says the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field. Let me ask you this. Okay, and I know I'm wandering, but when you take a seed and you plant it, what happens to it?
It grows.
It germinates and it grows and does what?
Makes a plant.
It makes a plant, and that grows and it gets big, and what does it produce?
Mustard. Or whatever the seed is.
The fruit.
The fruit.
The fruit of it, right?
Don't eat the apple, though. God doesn't want us to do that.
Squirrel. Okay. So anyway, he plants the mustard seed and it grows. I believe what he's getting at here is he wants us to plant the seed of the kingdom of heaven in our hearts.
So I think he is talking about faith. He's talking about...
I guess in a way. And then that grows. And it may be it could be the tiniest of seeds, but in the right soil and with the right care, it grows. And it can grow into the largest of all things. And I think this other really cool part that sometimes can be forgotten about this passage of Scripture, because we concentrate on the size of the mustard seed and, how it produces such a big tree, from that thing. But there's another part of this verse.
He sowed it into the garden.
Well, that's another part. Yes, somebody sowed that, right? Which means somebody took the initiative to tell somebody or to plant that seed so it could grow, right? I think that's another indirect story within the story here.
Another story of sharing the love of God with everybody else. You also want to take, after that mustard seed grows in you want to take another mustard seed that's fallen from that and place it in somebody else's heart.
That makes perfect sense to me.
And it'll keep going, I think.
That's good. I think there's also another part of this where it says, and we overlook this a lot, where it says when it becomes a tree, the birds of the air come and lodge or come and make their homes in the branches. I mean, I know when he says this, it's a tree and it becomes so large that the birds come and build their nests in it. And I know in some way, he's giving us some scale as to how big it becomes from that teeny tiny seed. I think another story within the story here is that these birds come and they make their home in it. So
like more love coming in?
Well, if the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed that grows into a tree and then the birds come and build their home in it, to me, that is saying also that the kingdom of heaven, especially when it's within us and it's growing and it's blossoming, I think it creates this beautiful environment that makes people want to be a part of it. It attracts people to it. Yeah, I think that may be something we need to really think about.
There are so many stories within just this one story.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I think that was. I think you got a really cool insight into this, Jude, and I really wanted to talk to you about this because this is as parables go, this is a really common one. It's something that, like, with me having been in church my whole life, I've heard this parable hundreds of times, probably so much that I take a lot of it for granted, and I think, it's the parable of the mustard seed.
The mustard.
There's nothing new here.
Right.
But
there
is something new when I get your perspective on it, and you bring up something that I hadn't thought about.
Because I'm smarter than you. I'm just kidding.
And so humble, right? Anyway, I think that was really good. I appreciate you giving me some insight into that.
I don't think I've heard that verse before. I feel like I have. I've heard of the mustard seed, but I don't think I've heard this story.
Cool. Well, good. I'm glad we did that. Thanks. All right. Our next segment here, and this will be the last thing we do before we wind this baby up. We're going to do the Jihad section.
Jihad!
Jihad. And so
what is the Jihad?
Jihad is just where me or your mama would have a random subject in mind. And it may be biblical, it may be social, it may be entertainment based, who knows? But one of us will know what we're going to talk about before we come in here. And just like the scripture, we'll throw it out there. The other person doesn't know what it's going to be. And then we're going to spend a few minutes seeing how it unfolds. So this week would have been her week to pick our jihad. But since she's not here this week, then so I've got one. And so I'm going to, it's a subject, but it's a question that I'm going to ask of you.
Alrighty.
And especially with you being, you're 11 years old, you've got a completely different perspective on a lot of things than I am, than I'm going to have. So anyway, let me throw this out there to you, and let's see what comes to mind, okay?
Alrighty.
My jihad is this. Do you think we are, as a world, or as a people, do you think we are better off having so much information available to us today, like say on a phone and Google and blah, blah, blah and all that? Or do you think a previous generation of people had it better because they had to search for that information? Let me reword that. So with that in mind, do you think it's better to have that information at hand, readily available? Or do you think it makes us take it for granted? Do you think it would be better for us to have to work at it? Tell me what you think.
Number one rule, you cannot turn this into either way, it's impossible, blah, 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 okay? You can't twist this on me, because I know you've been thinking about this.
No, I really, I'm trying to be fairly fresh with it, but I just want to see what you think.
I think that, and again, this is my opinion, if y'all have it, y'all share, please. I think, well, let me ask you this, okay. So, if you had a dictionary, if you had a small dictionary in your pocket, and you were having a grammar test and you were allowed to use a dictionary, and you just pulled it up, looked at it, and wrote it down, and you didn't think anything else about it, would that really teach you something?
That's a good point. You're asking me?
Yes. I would like to.
All right, you're asking me. So
I mean, I
think we retain, in general, I'm sure there are always exceptions, but I think in general we retain that information more strongly when we have to put forth some effort to get it.
Yeah, because when, say, if you have to go outside and, for instance, what is something you did that was really hard this week? Was like
getting that mulch this week. That was tough.
Getting that mulch. I mean, if someone could just come in and be like, here you go, and all you had to do was pick it up, throw it in the garden. That's all you had to do. But instead, you had to lift it, and you had to spread it out evenly, and you had to put work in it.
Yeah.
And it might have been easy, but it was maybe the area. Just working hard makes us remember, because honestly, we don't want to do it. Mm-hmm. So it makes us kind of remember it. It makes us think, oh, okay, yeah, I do remember that when I was doing this. Like, or when we were building the garden, we learned some stuff we probably should have done different. Mm-hmm. And that makes us think, oh, let's do that next time. Or, oh, we probably should have done. It makes us remember. Because we're putting forth some effort, like you say. I agree with you.
There's probably some neurological brain thing, about doing that actually the science probably supports this. I'm guessing, I don't know, but I hope it does. But my thought was, And I agree with everything you said. I was also thinking, though, about, let's just say, for example, you have to do a report in school. And let's just say, you're doing a report on making jelly. Okay?
Jelly.
You're doing a report on making jelly. You can get on your phone, and in about 2 minutes, you can probably have 1,000 articles pulled up that you can pull information from that will tell you what to put in your report. And that, to me, is a way to get it done.
I don't like writing essays.
No, I'm not talking about typing versus writing. I'm talking about having that information on your phone so easily available. It's a way to take it and get the information to put into a report.
Oh, then no.
But if you could also say, I've got to go to the library and check out some books, and I've got to look through some things, and I've got to, and people could say, oh, well, you're just getting information, but you're just getting it manually instead of digitally. No, it's a little different. There is a little more work. You could also go to somebody who knows how to make jelly and get them to show you how to do it. And you could make notes, and you could remember, and you could get your hands on it, and you could do it yourself.
I believe hands-on does make
in my opinion, I believe that would be the ideal way. So this is me. This is what I think. Of course, I use my phone. I use technology a lot.
Because you got to admit, it might not be the best way to remember it, but it's a lot easier.
It is a lot easier, and I do use it a lot. However, I will say, as far as learning and gathering information, to me, it's a symptom of our times, because we live in a world where people are more concerned about us just transferring the information from here to there instead of actually understanding what we just transferred. And that is a problem. We're becoming information salespeople, and we're not passing along experience. Like, say, with you, if you come to me and you say, Daddy, how do I build a raised garden bed? I could say, Jude, look it up on your phone, and you would learn how to do it. But that's not what we're dealing with.
You would show me.
We don't just want you to get the information. We want to pass along a skill that you learn and retain, and that means something to you. So
you want me to know it.
Yeah, and I think that's, fortunately, we have more information readily available today than we have ever had at any time in human history, and that is a good thing. Mm-hmm. But I think we are lacking more so than at any other time in human history. We are lacking in our ability to pass something down to someone.
Now, I believe y'all do pass down.
Well, we're very intentional about trying to make sure we pass that stuff down, but not everybody is. And I'm not saying we're great people because of what we do, but not everybody does that.
I mean, we don't work with technology. Y'all don't sit in an office all day looking at computers. You get hands-on. I believe you learn something new every day.
Yeah, we try.
I think that is a really good topic.
I think that was a good topic too. I like that.
That was the topic I was going to say to you, believe it or not.
Was it really?
Yeah, I looked at my watch and I was like,
oh my gosh.
Technology. I was like, yeah, let's talk about technology.
Technology. All right.
In my opinion, I love technology.
I know you do, Mr. Apple Watch. Alrighty. Hey, we are about out of time, so I'm going to go ahead and wind this on up. All right, Jude?
Alrighty, boss.
Alrighty. So, hey, just a quick reminder to you guys. We are in a lot of different places.
We're here, there, and everywhere.
We are here, there, and everywhere. And I really am grateful for you guys being here, listening to this podcast, wherever that might be. I'm really grateful for that. We are also, just in case you don't know, we are on most of your favorite social media sites. We'll be on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We are on TikTok a little bit, but I don't really dance and all. But anyway, we are on TikTok a little bit. We're not really on Snapchat. And of course, we have a YouTube channel. So visit us in all of those places. We would love to interact with you there. Mm-hmm. On the AVF website or the Apple Valley Farm website, we got our blog, a store, we got links, all of that.
It's thebomb.com.
We really enjoy doing stuff over there. So go visit us there. You can sign up for a lot of cool things. And even though we have stuff in our store, most of our t-shirts and coffee mugs and stuff like that is available through bonfire.com. Thank you so much again for being here and spending time with us. And we do pray that God uses our time together today to continue to speak to you until we all get together again. And in the meanwhile, feel free to join us on and subscribe to our Apple Valley Farm YouTube channel. This will be posted there. And you can also learn more about us, as I said, over at the Apple Valley Farm website, and we'll have each podcast posted in our blog over there. A huge thank you to our colleagues, our sponsors, our listener support, and especially the people over, again, at Patreon who make it possible for us to do what we're doing here. Thank you guys so much. Take care. Have a great day, and until we meet again, right?
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. Jude, thanks for being here.
Mm-hmm.
This was fun.
This is fun.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
We like talking about things together. It's fun.
Yeah, we do. And, when we're going down and I'll say this as we leave out, when we're going down the road in the truck, a lot of times we're just chit-chatting just like this about things, aren't we? So,
mostly politics.
Mostly politics, yeah. Maybe we should record ourselves in the truck and make it a truck podcast.
maybe just drive somewhere and come back home and just have that's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Take care, and we will see you next time on the Carpenter Shop.